Okay, so we're going to go ahead and peg this baby up there too and get as much gain out of the amp as we can possibly stand. Okay, here we go. All right, so that puppy gets pretty high gain. So that's your modern gain, basically more of a modern kind of sounding tone stack. So that's what we did. We'll wrap it up here. We went non-master volume to where we can't control the volume, and a little bit older tone stack to where it maxes out at about that, almost that eras of music. You know, you were up in the 80s and people were still using these master volume JCM 800s and whatnot. And then as time progressed, then we started getting into the more modern tone stack, and these cater well to 7-string guitars and things like that, as to where this kind of a head is not really the same kind of tone stack that fits that criteria of more modern, heavier music. So anyway, there's a really good overview of how gain staging works and kind of how it's worked through the eras of the decades of music as well. Okay, so now we're going to take our modern tone stack sounding head that we have here. It happens to have 3 individual channels. So we can illustrate how to set up, you know, a clean, a mid gain, and a dirty. But if you were to step back and you were going to be the one that was doing this per your song, and you might want to look at from the perspective of, okay, so this channel 1 is going to be our non-master volume sound. All right, and then maybe we can have like that amplifier overdriven sound like we had gotten from the Fender Deluxe by just using natural drive. And then also then we can finally jump over to our high gain side. Okay, so maybe your song had something where this was on the top. All right, so then maybe the chorus parts, these lines. It's a great application for that sound. Then maybe when you get to the bridge, or maybe you're solo and you're the rhythm guitar player on the solo, and you're going to go to your rear pickup now because the song changes a little bit on bridges and whatnot on arrangements, we can pop over to this high gain side. So there you go, a simple 3-channel setup. Obviously, you can do that in any of the degrees that you deem fit for your song or your band or your artist gig, or however the commercial sense of what you might be working in. But that's a good way to think about that too. You know, if you want to be really broad with what you're doing, you can get that non-master volume kind of sound. You can get that semi-amp driven sound, and then you can get the bone-crushing metal sound if thus that's what you need. You could also dial that back, and that could just be your solo tone to your mid gain that we had illustrated. So it's all artistic from that point on, but that's just a simple illustration of a 3 channel setup on an amplifier that indeed has 3 channels to set up.